Ladies and gentlemen, what I am about to share with you today is not mere theory, but a truth that has been proven time and again by those who understood the extraordinary power that lies within each of us, the power of our mind. You've all heard the saying, what you think about, you bring about. But today I want you to realize that this is not just a catchy phrase. It is the fundamental law of creation. Whatever you think, imagine, and feel deeply, you are sowing the seeds for your future reality. Now I want you to understand something that will change the way you see your dreams. Your wealth is already yours. It's not something you need to chase or even work for tirelessly. It's a matter of realizing that the wealth, the success, and the prosperity you desire already exist in the realm of possibility. So how do you become a millionaire in just 12 days? The answer lies in how you perceive yourself and the world around you. You must begin living as though you already are that millionaire. Don't wait for the money to appear before you believe in your success. Feel it now. Imagine waking up in the morning in your dream home, driving your dream car, making investments that multiply your wealth, and interacting with others who see you as successful. The key here is not just to picture these things. You must live in the end result of your desires. When you embody the essence of being a millionaire, your thoughts, feelings, and actions will naturally align with this reality. The world will begin to move in harmony with your new mindset. You will find yourself attracting the right opportunities, meeting the right people, and taking the necessary actions that lead to that fortune. But here's the secret. This process doesn't happen by accident. It happens through conscious effort. Every moment of every day, you must feed your mind with thoughts of abundance. You must assume that what you desire is already yours. If you want to be wealthy, assume you are wealthy now. Let your thoughts and actions radiate this assumption. And while you do this, practice gratitude. Yes, gratitude. Be thankful now for what is on its way to you. The more you feel gratitude for what you're about to receive, the more you create an opening for it to manifest. You see, in life, everything begins in the imagination. The world around us was once someone's dream, someone's idea. So why can't your dreams be as real as the chair you're sitting on, the phone you're holding? They can be. They must be. Every millionaire, every person who has achieved success has one thing in common. They persisted. They continued to believe when the world doubted. They remained focused on their vision, and they never stopped rehearsing their future in their minds. You can do the same. Not trust the process. Once you've planted the seed of your desire, trust that the universe will bring it to fruition. Your job is not to worry about the how. It's to believe and act as though it has already happened. So I say to you today, be the millionaire you wish to become. Start right now. Live the life you want to live in your mind, feel it, assume it, and let the world rearrange itself to bring that very life into your hand. In just 12 days, your reality can shift. In fact, if you commit to this practice, if you dare to imagine yourself as already a millionaire, there is nothing that can stop you from stepping into that world of abundance. The only question is, are you ready to believe? The mind is not merely a passive observer of reality. It is the very architect of the world around you. It is the lens through which we experience life, and more importantly, the instrument with which we create it. Every thought, no matter how fleeting or seemingly insignificant, carries immense power. The thoughts you think today are the building blocks of the reality you will experience tomorrow. Your mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply manifests whatever you impress upon it. If you choose to think thoughts of scarcity, doubt, and fear, your mind will create circumstances that reflect that. But if you choose to think thoughts of abundance, success, and confidence, your mind will begin to arrange the world in such a way that aligns with those beliefs. It is not enough to simply wish for something to happen or hope that things will change. You must believe it is possible, not just intellectually, but with every fiber of your being. The mind operates like a magnet, attracting experiences, opportunities, and people who are in resonance with the thoughts and emotions you consistently emit. Your mental state sets the frequency at which you vibrate, and the universe responds accordingly. What you hold in your mind with focus and clarity will begin to take shape in your reality. The mind is not just a tool for thinking, it is a powerful creative force, capable of turning dreams into tangible experiences. The moment you realize this, you unlock the true potential within you. Understanding that you are not a passive participant in the unfolding of your life, but an active creator, changes everything. The mind is your canvas, and your thoughts are the brushstrokes that create the masterpiece. Therefore, take conscious control over your thoughts. Direct them, choose them wisely, for they are the seeds that will sprout into your future. When you begin to recognize the power of your mind, you begin to see that you are not bound by external circumstances. You are only bound by the limitations you place on yourself through your thoughts. If you want to change your circumstances, you must first change your thinking. It is within your mind that the seeds of every great achievement are sown. It is in the vast potential of your mind that lies the power to transform every area of your life, to turn the impossible into the inevitable, and to bring your most cherished desires into full bloom. You are the creator of your experience, and it all begins with the power of your mind. How about fully immersing yourself in the belief that what you desire has already happened, that the future you envision is already your present reality? It's not merely about waiting for the external world to reflect your inner desires. It is about shifting your mindset and feeling the emotions, the sensations, the sense of fulfillment right now, as if the future has already unfolded. Most people focus on the gap between where they are and where they want to be. They think that their current reality must change before they can feel the way they wish to feel. But in truth, it is the opposite. You must first feel the change within yourself before the outer world can reflect it. When you live in the end, you do not act or think as if you are in a state of wanting or lacking something. You do not see yourself as waiting for something to happen. Instead, you embody the feeling of having already arrived. It is like stepping into the future and living from that vantage point, where all that you desire is already part of your current experience. When you feel abundant, for example, in the present moment, abundance starts to manifest because you are no longer pushing it away with the vibration of lack. You are aligning with it by embodying the mindset and emotions of having already received. This shift requires a deep level of trust. Trust in the unseen, trust in the process, and trust in the power of your own mind. Most people are conditioned to look for evidence in the outside world before they believe in their desires. But to live in the end is to believe before the evidence comes. It means trusting that the universe responds to your inner state and not your external circumstances. The more you live in the end, the more it begins to reflect back to you in ways you could never have imagined. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is what makes the desire real. It is in the act of living as if, behaving as though, your goal has already been achieved that the universe starts to respond. Every time you feel the emotions of success, wealth, love, or fulfillment, your mind shifts and begins to mold the circumstances that mirror those feelings. The key is not to visualize for the sake of visualization itself, but to feel the deep emotional connection to your desire as though it has already materialized. When you believe that you have it now, your actions and decisions will naturally align with that belief, attracting the circumstances that match it. Living in the end is a constant practice. It's about taking your thoughts and feelings away from the current state of reality, where things may seem uncertain, and placing them in a state of certainty that what you desire is already done. This doesn't mean passively waiting for things to happen. It means actively embodying the end result, making decisions from that place, and trusting that every step you take is guided by that belief. We do not have a Shiva agent that's like in us. That means curiosity, ambition. You start to see everything around you as the manifestation of your mind. And in doing so, you begin to draw closer to your desires, not because you're pushing or striving for them, but because you're aligning with them in thought, feeling, and action. The power in living in the end is that it transforms the way you interact with the world. No longer do you seek outside validation or confirmation that your desires are coming true. You create that certainty within yourself. And from that place, the world must follow. As you live as though you are already the person you want to be, the world begins to mirror back to you the reality that matches your inner state. The ability to deliberately direct your thoughts, images, and mental pictures in a way that serves your highest desires. Most people allow their imagination to wander without any clear purpose, often dwelling on past mistakes, fears, or future worries. But the true power of imagination lies not in passively receiving random thoughts, but in consciously choosing and shaping the images that fill your mind. Your imagination is a tool, a gateway to creating the reality you want. And with conscious control, you harness that tool to shape your future. Every mental image you hold, whether it's an image of success, wealth, or happiness, sends out vibrations that influence your emotions and actions. These mental images are more than just fleeting thoughts. They are the blueprints for your life. The mind doesn't distinguish between something vividly imagined and something experienced in physical reality. When you mentally rehearse your goals, the mind takes it as real, activating the same emotions, sensations, and pathways as if the event were actually occurring. The clearer and more specific you are with the images you create, the more powerful the manifestation process becomes. To control your imagination is to take command of your inner world. This requires an understanding that your thoughts are not random. They are not external events you simply react to. They are expressions of your inner beliefs, desires, and feelings. When you begin to consciously control the mental pictures you create, you start to break free from the habitual patterns of thinking that keep you trapped in undesirable circumstances. Instead of imagining failure, loss, or disappointment, you start to fill your mind with images of success, abundance, and fulfillment. The more consistently you practice this, the more your mind shifts toward these elevated states. It's not enough to simply wish for something or think of it casually. You must live in the imagination of your desired outcome. Close your eyes and see it as vividly as possible. Picture yourself already having achieved your goal. How does it feel? What are you wearing? Where are you? What are you doing? The more sensory details you add to these mental pictures, the more real they become in your mind, and the more your subconscious mind begins to align with that reality. With practice, these mental images become so vivid and so real that they begin to feel like memories rather than distant possibilities. The power of your imagination doesn't stop at visualizations. It extends into the emotions you attach to them. Imagination is not only about seeing pictures, but also about feeling the emotions associated with those pictures. When you imagine something you desire, feel the emotions of having already achieved it. This feeling of already being or having what you want strengthens the mental image and accelerates the manifestation process. Your imagination becomes a place where dreams are realized, not in the future someday, but in the present right now. By taking conscious control over your imagination, you begin to program your mind for success. You no longer allow negative, self-limiting thoughts to dominate your internal landscape. You begin to see opportunities, solutions, and possibilities that were previously hidden from you. Your imagination, instead of being a passive observer, becomes a creative force, a dynamic engine driving you toward your goals. This conscious control over imagination is not something that happens overnight. It requires patience, practice, and dedication. You must become vigilant, noticing when your mind starts to wander into negative or unhelpful territory, and gently guiding it back to the positive images and outcomes you want to create. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your thoughts, feelings, and actions will naturally align with the vision you've created. The more you practice consciously directing your imagination, the more your reality begins to mirror the visions you've cultivated within your mind. Then you learn to control your imagination, you learn to control your life. Every moment spent consciously creating mental pictures of what you want is a step closer to turning those pictures into tangible reality. Your imagination is not a passive experience. It is the very foundation of your future. Through conscious control, you unlock your ability to manifest anything you desire. Belief is the cornerstone of creation. It is the invisible force that shapes every experience, every opportunity, and every outcome in your life. What you believe to be true about yourself, the world, and what is possible directly determines the reality you experience. If you believe something is unattainable, impossible, or beyond your reach, your mind will create the conditions that make it so. Conversely, if you believe something is within your grasp, your mind will align with that belief and begin to shape the circumstances, actions, and opportunities needed to bring it to life. Belief is not simply an intellectual concept. It is an emotional and energetic state that influences everything from your behavior to your interactions to the choices you make every day. When you believe something with conviction, it is no longer a distant hope or a mere thought. It becomes part of your identity. It is through belief that you step into the fullness of your potential. The mind does not question whether what you believe is real or not. It merely accepts it and sets about organizing your world in alignment with that belief. One of the greatest challenges people face in manifesting their desires is the presence of doubt. Doubt is the opposite of belief. Doubt creates resistance. When you doubt, you energetically block the flow of your desires from entering your experience. Doubt says, "This is too difficult," or "I'm not worthy," or "I'm not capable." It places limits on what can come to you, and in many ways prevents you from seeing or seizing the opportunities that are right in front of you. To truly manifest, belief must become unwavering. It must become the lens through which you view the world. Belief is like a filter that colors everything you see. If you believe the world is abundant, you will begin to notice opportunities for wealth and success everywhere you look. If you believe you are capable, you will act with confidence, knowing that success is inevitable. Your belief in your own potential is what propels you into action. And that action begins to create the conditions that lead to your desired outcome. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking or uncertainty. It responds to the energy of knowing, to the belief that what you seek is already yours. It's important to note that belief does not require proof. In fact, it is often the case that belief must come before evidence. Most people look for proof before they believe, but the truly successful know that belief is the cause and proof is the effect. Once you believe, the universe will begin to organize events and bring you the experiences that validate that belief. This is why it's essential to maintain your belief even when there is no external evidence to support it. The moment you doubt or question your belief, you place yourself in opposition to the very thing you wish to create. You must trust that your belief is the precursor to the reality you desire. Belief also operates on a subconscious level. Often, your conscious mind might be telling you one thing, but your subconscious beliefs might be telling you something entirely different. For example, you might consciously believe that you deserve wealth and success, but if your subconscious mind holds a belief that money is hard to come by, or that success is only for others, that deeper belief will override the conscious one. This is why it is so important to not only affirm your beliefs consciously, but to also work on reprogramming your subconscious mind. When both levels of your consciousness align in belief, you become an unstoppable force. Belief is the foundation for all achievement. It is the bedrock upon which every successful endeavor is built. Without belief, even the most brilliant strategies and actions will falter. When belief is strong, however, it acts as a magnetic force, pulling toward you the very things you need to realize your dreams. What you believe becomes your experience. If you believe you are destined for greatness, if you believe you are worthy of the abundance you seek, if you believe that everything you desire is already on its way to you, then you will begin to see it manifest in your life. Belief is key because it is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It transforms what exists in your mind into something that can be touched, seen, and experienced. By cultivating strong, unwavering belief in your dreams, you activate the force within you that can shape your world. The power of belief cannot be underestimated. It is the key to unlocking your highest potential and creating the reality you were always meant to live. The ability to live as though what you desire has already been realized. It is a practice of assuming that your desired outcome is a fact and shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions accordingly. This is not simply pretending or wishing. It is an active state of belief that what you seek is already a part of your current reality. The moment you assume that something is already true, your mind begins to focus on it as if it is a present fact, and the external world starts to shift in ways that bring that assumption into manifestation. When you assume something to be true, you align your entire being with that assumption. You don't just think about it passively or hope for it. You step into the feeling of it, embracing it as part of who you are right now. If you assume that you're wealthy, for example, you stop thinking of wealth as something you need to work hard for or something that is beyond your reach. You begin to think, act, and feel as though wealth is already yours. The more vividly and consistently you can live from this assumption, the more the world rearranges itself to make that assumption a reality. The power of assumption works because of the way the mind operates. The subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts whatever you impress upon it as truth. When you assume that you're already the person you desire to be, your subconscious mind accepts that assumption and begins to guide your actions and decisions as if it were a fact. You start making choices that align with that new identity. You begin to see opportunities that were previously hidden from view, and you take actions that support the assumption you are living by. The more you act as if, the more your reality will conform to that assumption. This process is not about forcing or striving to make things happen. It is about embodying the state of already having what you want. When you live in the assumption that you are already successful, happy, or abundant, you stop trying to get those things. You become them. You begin to resonate with the frequency of your desires, and the world naturally moves to meet you at that frequency. The universe operates on the law of resonance. It aligns with the energy you emit. And when your energy matches your assumption, everything you need will begin to flow to you effortlessly. Tuning your success is a form of self-consciousness and trust in the process of creation. It is trusting that the universe responds to your inner state, not to external circumstances. The moment you stop waiting for the world to change before you can change, and instead begin to live in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled, you unlock an immense creative power within you. Your assumptions are not just passive thoughts, they are active creations. By living in the assumption that your goals are already achieved, you start to create the actions, thoughts, and emotions that make it so. One of the greatest misconceptions people have about the power of assumption is that it requires effort or force. It doesn't. The more naturally you can assume that you already have what you want, the easier it becomes to manifest it. It is about relaxation and surrender, not struggle. When you assume success, love, or abundance, you stop fighting for them. You stop trying to force things into place, and instead you allow them to unfold naturally. You become a magnet for your desires, and everything around you begins to move in alignment with that assumption. The beauty of this principle is that it allows you to bypass the how and focus entirely on the end result. Most people are stuck in a loop of trying to figure out how they will achieve their goals. They overanalyze every step, every action, every decision, constantly questioning if they are on the right path. But when you live from the assumption that your desires are already realized, you let go of the need to control the process. You trust that the how will reveal itself, and you allow the universe to lead you. If you're living the power of assumption, you're not simply waiting for your desires to show up. You are actively creating the path to them. You are assuming the life you want is already yours, and by doing so, you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions to match that reality. Every action you take, every decision you make, every word you speak will reflect the belief that your desires are already here. And with this alignment, the world will rearrange itself to bring you those very desires. The power of assumption is a profound tool because it taps into the underlying creative force that governs all of reality. It is a way of stepping into the flow of life and trusting that what you need will come to you effortlessly when you assume that it is already yours. When you assume that you are already successful, healthy, or wealthy, you break the cycle of doubt and resistance, allowing your life to unfold in ways that reflect the assumptions you hold true. The more you practice this, the more your assumptions shape the world around you until the reality you desire becomes the reality you live. An incredibly powerful and transformative practice. It involves feeling and expressing deep thankfulness for the things you have not yet received, but know are already on their way to you. In fact, along with your thoughts such as, while most people practice gratitude for what they currently have, gratitude for the future takes that a step further. It is about trusting that the universe is already working on your behalf to bring you the very things you desire, and acknowledging those things with heartfelt appreciation before they manifest in your physical reality. This shift in perspective is a game changer because it aligns your energy with abundance rather than lack. When you practice gratitude for the future, you act as if what you desire has already been delivered. You stop waiting for external circumstances to change before you feel thankful, and instead you begin to cultivate a sense of already having. This feeling of future fulfillment strengthens the belief that what you desire is already on its way. And the more you feel gratitude for something before it shows up, the more quickly it can manifest. The act of expressing gratitude in advance creates a magnetic force that attracts your desires into your experience. By thanking the universe for the abundance, love, success, or health that is already making its way to you, you shift your energy to one of openness and receptivity. One of the reasons why gratitude for the future is so powerful is that it taps into the law of assumption, the idea that what you assume to be true already is. When you express gratitude for something that has not yet arrived, you are essentially assuming that it is already a part of your reality. This assumption creates an energetic resonance that aligns with the future you are desiring. The more you practice this, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept that what you are thankful for is inevitable, and it starts to reconfigure your thoughts, feelings, and actions accordingly. Gratitude for the future also shifts your focus from a state of lack to one of abundance. It is easy to fall into the trap of feeling as though something is missing or that you are incomplete because your desires have not yet manifested in the physical world. But when you give thanks for what is coming, you stop focusing on the lack or the waiting. Instead, you focus on the fact that your desires are already in motion. By feeling grateful for what is on its way, you align with the energy of abundance rather than scarcity. This, in turn, opens the floodgates for more good things to flow into your life. The act of feeling grateful for the future also helps you release the need to control how things will unfold. Often we spend too much time obsessing over the details of how our desires will materialize, when they will come, who will be involved, what steps we need to take, etc. But when you practice gratitude for the future, you surrender the how and simply trust that everything is unfolding perfectly in divine timing. Gratitude shifts your focus from impatience or frustration to peace and trust, knowing that everything you desire is already in the process of becoming real. It is a profound way of letting go of resistance and embracing the flow of life. Gratitude for the future is also a form of faith. It's an unwavering belief that everything you want is already making its way toward you. When you express gratitude for the future, you trust that the universe is working in your favor, even if you cannot yet see the results. It is about living in the assumption that your desires are not only possible, but inevitable. The more you believe in the future that you are grateful for, the more that future will show up, and the more it will surprise you with its perfect unfolding. This practice helps you develop an attitude of constant appreciation, which is vital for creating the life you want. Instead of looking at your current situation with dissatisfaction, you begin to see it as the stepping stone to the future that you are already thankful for. You begin to look forward to your life with excitement and anticipation, knowing that everything is aligning for your highest good. Gratitude for the future is an acknowledgement that you are co-creating your reality with the universe, and that every thought, feeling, and action you take today is shaping the future you are stepping into. When you are grateful for the future, you step into a space of positive expectation. The energy of positive expectation is a powerful force for attracting what you desire. It's like sending a message to the universe that you are ready to receive and that you trust that everything you have asked for is on its way. The universe responds to your vibration. And when your vibration is one of gratitude and expectation, it cannot help but bring you exactly what you are thankful for. Living in gratitude for the future also helps you stay grounded and present in the moment. You are no longer waiting for your circumstances to change in order to feel good. Instead, you feel good now, knowing that everything is already working out for you. This sense of peace and fulfillment is a magnetic energy that draws your desires closer to you. The more you practice gratitude for the future, the more you realize that everything you seek is already yours in the energetic realm. It just needs to show up in the physical world, and it will, in its perfect time. Gratitude for the future creates a powerful alignment with the life you want. It is a way of living from a place of trust, abundance, and joy, regardless of your current circumstances. When you feel grateful for what you know is coming, you release all the doubts and fears that typically block your desires. You stop waiting for the external world to change, and instead, you start living as if everything you've ever dreamed of is already here, and in doing so, you bring it closer to you with every thought, feeling, and action. The key to unlocking a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment lies in your ability to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the powerful principles we've discussed today. The mind is a creator. Your imagination is the canvas, and belief is the brush that paints the picture of your reality. When you consciously control your thoughts, assumptions, and emotions, you can transform your world in ways that seem almost magical. And through gratitude, especially gratitude for the future, you bring the unseen into the seen, the impossible into the possible. The message is simple but profound. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are its creator. By living in the end, assuming success, and feeling deep gratitude for the blessings that are already making their way to you, you tap into an extraordinary power. This power resides in your ability to shift your inner state to match the life you desire, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. The world around you is waiting for you to step into the fullness of who you are and what you deserve. Every thought you think, every assumption you make, and every grateful feeling you hold brings you one step closer to the life you've always wanted. The future you are dreaming of is not a distant possibility. It is already unfolding within you. And through your belief and gratitude, you are manifesting it with every moment. So remember this, your reality is born from within. Claim it, live it, and be grateful for it, because what you believe and feel today will shape the world of tomorrow. The power is in your hands, and the universe is ready to reflect your greatness back to you. Now is the time to embrace it.